No one likes to make mistakes. It hurts not just our self-esteem, our confidence, but also the trust that you have for yourself and others on you. Sometimes, the mistake or failure that you made was so detrimental that you wished with all your heart that you could turn back time and undo them. But we all know that it's impossible, and you have no idea how to get out of this agony that's eating you inside out. At this point, you probably began to understand a little why some people are able to find the courage to leave this world. I do have my fair share of failures and mistakes that I never thought I was able to get over, and I would like to humbly share how I was able to get over this towering wall that's preventing me from moving forward from my mistakes. The very first step that I took to try and get over my mistakes and failures was to accept and acknowledge it. In the beginning, we will all reject and deny that we made a mistake. I'm sure that we have all been there, where we give seemingly understandable excuses to cover our failures. If you played badly in a game, you blame someone else for distracting you. If you invested in the wrong stock, you blamed your friend or the YouTuber that recommended you the stock. If you forgot to hand in your homework, you told your teacher that you have family problems, thus you don't have time to work on it. The thing is, if we don't acknowledge our fault, we will never learn from them, and it will instill the habit to always deny it. We should make it a habit to acknowledge all our mistakes and faults, no matter how small they are, in order to cultivate that sense of responsibility for our actions. Otherwise, if there's ever a day where we fail in a situation that you simply cannot fail, you will deny it with all your heart, and you will never be able to move on from there. You may be thinking that it's not easy to simply acknowledge your mistake, and you'll magically be able to move on from there immediately. Reality is, you won't. Acknowledgement is a process, not a single step. You have to take that step forward first to begin your journey. If you don't try your best to go on this journey to accept it, your failure will come back and haunt you for the rest of your life, and at this point, there is no way that you'll be able to move on. That begs the next question. Why do we all have that habit to deny our wrongdoings or mistakes? Ego. No matter how much we want to deny, all of us have some degree of ego to protect. We hate to admit to our mistakes because that would mean admitting that you are insufficient, lacking, or incapable, and no one likes that. We all want to feel like we are enough, capable, reliable, and dependable. We are social creatures, and we crave for others' acknowledgement. But what good is it to protect our ego? Sure, you can feel good from it if others accept your excuse, but that's really all it gives. At the end of the day, you are the one taking the brunt of the emotions and stress that comes with making a mistake sometime in the future that you have no way to give an excuse. Sometimes, I see it as playing a game. The only way you can progress in the game is to gain experience and level up. We will trial and error, make mistakes, learn from them, and find the best way to progress our game character. There's no way you can gain experience fast by constantly denying your mistakes and believing that your initial way was right. What you should be doing is to deny your ego in this situation, accept your mistake, and learn from it. That's the only way you can gain that experience and move on with life. At this point, you may think that it's easy for me to share all these tips and that I don't truly understand how you're feeling. I won't deny that, I really don't, and I won't act like I do. But I know that there was a time that I never thought I was able to move on from a mistake that I made. The shame, guilt, remorse, regret, and a multitude of other emotions welled up deep inside of me. It was brimming to the point where I started to hyperventilate, vision blurring, and felt dizzy from all the craziness. I wished so hard that I could turn back time and undo my mistake, but I couldn't. I know that I have to live with this mistake, and sooner or later, I have to move on from this. It wasn't an easy journey to get out of that depressive state after making a life-changing mistake. But there was one thing that helped me the most in getting out of this state, and that is, life is simply too beautiful. It sounds cringy, but it really is. I look back at the times where I thought to myself, I'm so glad to be alive. I look back at the days where I was having the time of my life with my friends on an overseas trip, met new people, tried new things, accomplished a feat that I never thought I was able to, having my loved ones with me. The list is endless, and there's so many more things that I've yet to experience. Looking back at all this, I can't help but find the motivation to get out of this depressive state of mind. I naturally started to calm myself down, tell myself that everything's okay, and life is way too beautiful to give up right now. There's so many places that I've yet to visit, many more people that I want to meet, learn more things, and just cruise through everything that's life. But in order to continue to do so, I have to find a way to move on from my mistakes and failures, look ahead, and keep moving forward, instead of lying on my bed all day and drowning myself with wishful thoughts of turning back time to undo them all. There's another way that you can see this, which is a crucial thing I've realized that can really change your outlook in life. You should be glad that you made a mistake, and you are currently suffering the consequences of it, especially if you made that mistake early on in your life. We all have people around us, or from books that we read that teaches us what mistakes we shouldn't make. For example, we all know that we shouldn't invest too much into stocks or crypto to the point where you don't have any emergency funds. We clearly knew that, but many people still made the mistake to invest their life savings into crypto, when the world went crazy and everything was crashing in 2022, especially with the bankruptcy of a well-known crypto exchange platform. Many people were gravely affected. I don't want to rub it into the wounds of those of you that are affected, or if it makes any of you feel better, I was also affected by it. But if we touch our hearts and ask ourselves the truth, whether we knew that we shouldn't be over-investing but still did, and let our greed take over, we can't deny it. We will only truly learn a lesson after we made a mistake ourselves. And it's only after a grave mistake that we made that we started to take things more seriously and make future decisions more rationally. For those of you that made any such mistakes, but it's early on in your lives, you should consider yourself to be the lucky ones, because you have learned and ingrained that experience deep inside of you such that you have never made that same mistake again. So instead of beating yourself up, see it as an essential milestone or event in your life that you have to experience in order to have a better future. It's like a game where you'll only be able to progress with the story if you complete the main quest. In this video, I may not be sharing with you a set number of tips on how you can get over your past failures and mistakes. In certain cases, I like to help all of you by trying to change your perspective on how you see things, as I believe that such mindset and perspective changes can help you more in the long run, and on other aspects of life too. With that, I just want to say that life is not easy. It really isn't. We all experience life differently, and we all face our own set of problems. Some more difficult than the others, some easier. But if there's one thing that we all have in common, is that we are all on the same journey, which is life itself, and I'll try my best to make that life of yours a tiny bit better by sharing my experiences with all of you in this channel.